Hi, everybody. It's Kathleen Walker. It's now been 198 days since Larsh cut off my brother's ability to visit with me and my ability to visit with him. They've isolated him on September 12th of 2022. I'm making these videos to bring this to your attention. Paul wants to visit with me. He says he's lonely and he doesn't want to leave my apartment, which is right here. When our visits come to the end, I had an agreement with Larsh where I could meet with Paul once a week at his group home, and he could come here once a week. And we had a lot of fun together. I've got bags of games and puzzles and books. I go to the library about every 3 weeks and get books for him that I can read to him. And we just have a shared experience of growing up together. I remember when he was brought home from the hospital by my dad, my parents bucked the system. They fought the system tooth and nail. At that time in 1958, the doctors recommended that he be placed in a large institution, which no doubt he would never have survived if he had been institutionalized. And my family went through a lot and sacrificed a tremendous amount to provide a normalized and safe home for Paul. I was telling my sister-in-law that one of my early memories of Paul was when I was about 7 or 8 years old. And one of my other sisters woke me up in the middle of the night and told me that we had to get up and clean up the house. And Paul had somehow blocked the upstairs bathroom. We had a 2-story house, and he had blocked the upstairs bathroom. So the entire upstairs filled with several inches of water, which rolled down the walls of the downstairs, and those were plaster and lath houses back then. So the entire house, our entire home, was ruined. And I can remember watching my father cleaning up and rebuilding the house and expecting that he would be critical or complain. My father never complained once. He acted like this was the greatest thing that had ever happened. This was a big chance to redecorate the house and to refurbish the house. And I can't imagine how much of an expense that would have been. But my parents were committed to raising Paul in as normal an environment as possible. And that was just part of it. It got me it sent me the message loud and clear that even disabled people are worthy of our commitment and our respect, and that's the way I feel now. Paul has no relatives left in the Lower Mainland of BC to visit him, from a family of 6 kids and my mother, who lived out here with our spouses and our kids. So they've all died or moved away. My mother died in 2004. And so we're all the only siblings left. We're the only family members left in the Lower Mainland that can visit each other in person. I miss him terribly. I miss him more than I can say. I fought through the courts as best I could by myself. On my all I have is old age pension and Canada Pension Plan. So I'm on a pensioner's income, but I fought my way all the way to where I now have an application for leave to appeal to the Supreme Court of Canada in Ottawa. And that's where it's at right now. The issue has to be of national importance. What could be more important than a man's right to freedom, to associate freedom, period, and to associate with his loved ones? Please help in any way that you can. You might have ways to help that I haven't even thought of, but a couple of suggestions that I have in terms of how you can help is, number one, write the bureaucrats that I put in the description box. And I've even got an email that you can just copy and paste and send it out. It just describes exactly what happened, what has happened, which is Paul's been cut off from his last remaining family member, and he's being confined to places that are controlled by his group home, Larsh. Remember that, L''ARCHE, Larsh. It is, well, I won't get into what I think it is, but anyways, so 3 constructive ways that you can help us. Number 1, knock off a quick email. It'll take a minute, and you can do it more than once, maybe even every day. Just make a habit of knocking off an email to the bureaucrats, who each of these bureaucrats in the description box with 1 phone call could restore Paul's visits with me and my visits with him. 2 is you can contribute as much as you want or as little as you want to the GoFundMe account that I've set up for Paul. Now, that is an account that I've set up with the Toronto Dominion Bank, which is solely for expenses associated with court costs. So hiring experts, paying for process servers, paying for copying. That's I don't use that account. I don't use the TD Bank for anything other than this GoFundMe account. So you can help with that. And some people have already, which is really, I'm so grateful for. And then the third thing you can do is share the story. So discuss it with your friends. Explain what's going on to your friends. Because I practiced law for 24 years, and I didn't believe this was possible, that an adult Canadian-born citizen could be locked up away from his loved ones with no right to associate with his last remaining family member that visits him and that he can visit. So you can share this video on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, where, share the story far and wide. Get the word out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and take care. I love you all.